Welcome back to my channel. My name is Brittany Bundles, and today's video is going to be about how my businesses work together. So I talk a lot about having multiple streams of income. I talk a lot about being able to promote yourself as your brand. That way you can easily transition to different business ventures and be able to advertise and market to your audience that you have that are following you based on you building yourself as the brand. I actually have a whole video in depth about it. If you do want to take a look at that, how to build yourself as a brand, be sure to check out the link below this video to watch it. But I'm going to be talking about how my businesses work together, and I chose 5 different streams of income that are working for me at this time. I didn't choose every single one. I do have different services that are offered on my sites and different things that I do, but I'm going to go over 5 main businesses and explain them how, or services to, on my website, and explain how they all work together. So if you are interested in this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Please make sure that you are subscribed, and let's get right into it. So if you're wondering, before I even get into the first business, why is that even important? Like, why do you need your businesses, or why do you choose to have your businesses working together? To answer that question, it's important to me because it helps me help more people, and it helps me get more revenue. It gives me more sales because I'm able to connect all of my businesses together and make sure that I'm offering as many options as I can, as many solutions as I can, and ultimately it's giving me more revenue. And I'll go over some examples and show you how in this video. So when I talk about creating multiple streams of income, it's really important to be creative and figure out how you can somehow connect those streams, because it is going to be beneficial when you're working with clients and also increasing your revenue. So hair. I'm going to go over 5 different businesses. So my hair business, which is badchickhair.com, that is linked below. My credit repair business, which is bchcreditrepairs.com. I'm going to go over my podcast, the Brittany Bundles podcast, my YouTube channel right here, Brittany Bundles, and then my business consultations. Again, I do offer more services on my websites, but I'm going to stick with these 5 businesses. Okay, so I'm able to connect them all together like this. So with hair, there are people that are interested in buying bundles, closures, frontals, and they have gone to my website and they have reached out and said, hey, do you have any promotions or discounts? Now, I take that and I look to see if I have any promotions or discounts, because I like to give a direct answer. But then I also don't just end the conversation there. I ask open-ended questions to see exactly what they're looking for. I try to get an idea of what they're looking to spend. And if someone gives me an amount that's in their budget, I try to see what I can do to offer something that's going to be comparable to what it is they're looking to pay for, whether that be a different length, a different texture, whether that be buy now, pay later. But there are some times where people are like, hey, I'm on your website, badchickhair.com, and I see that you also offer wholesale bundles, and I want to purchase in bulk. I don't have enough credit on Klarna, buy now, pay later. I don't have enough money on hand, like in my bank account or on my credit cards, to purchase the inventory that I want to start my business. What other options do you have? And so at this point, I'm able to ask different questions and figure out if they've looked into lending, if they've looked into saving their money, putting money aside to be able to purchase in bulk. And I also offer my ebook, Drop Shipping Now, Wholesale Later. So I'm trying to figure out what works best for their needs. And actually doing some discovery and conversations like that, people have come to me and said, hey, I was actually looking at getting a business loan, but I have this, and this on my credit. So hearing that, I'm able to transition to my credit repair business and let them know what I can do to help them work towards getting that collection removed, or look at what I can do to look at getting that repossession removed. And then I can go over to a podcast. Now with my podcast, and I'm not going to offer every single thing to every customer if it doesn't make sense. But if someone is like, hey, let's take the same customer, for example, we went over the hair options, we went over credit repair, and they may say, hey, I'm going to think about it. Thank you for all the information. Do you have any other insight on how, do you have any other business tips for me? Or even if they don't ask for that, I may say, hey, while you're thinking and going over some of the information I gave you, why don't you tune into my podcast, the Brittany Bundles podcast? It kind of goes over some information pertaining to how I got started with my hair journey, Also, I have different entrepreneurs on there sharing about how they got started with their business. And then I also have credit awareness podcast episodes where it talks about how to build credit, talks about how to repair your credit. So take a look and listen to that too in your spare time. And then I can also share a link in an email if I, ask if, hey, would you be open to receiving additional information? I have a hair business playlist. I can send them my link via YouTube. And then also I offer business consultations, and you can see how that fits right into the conversation as well, going into a further in-depth conversation on how I can consult them on upscaling their business. So just off that interaction, someone coming to look for hair, I'm able to ask additional questions and figure out what I can offer that's going to fit what they're looking for. Now, if I didn't dig deeper and if I only took, hey, I'm looking for hair extensions, do you have any discounts, and just that be that, then I would have lost out on potential sales and also spreading awareness on different services that I offer. Even if someone doesn't purchase, if someone watches a video of mine, I'm still helping them by giving them additional resources and information, and it's helping me as well by adding more revenue to my business. Because if someone watches a video that's monetized, I get paid for it. If someone's listening to a podcast episode that's monetized, I'm getting paid for it. So all of that works together. So then I'm going to just give you I'm going to run down some other examples. Let's say someone comes to me on the credit repair side and they're like, hey, I want to repair my credit. And the reason I'm wanting to repair my credit is because I want to purchase my first home. And so I asked additional questions, hey, that's great. I remember the feeling when I purchased my first home. I'm building that rapport. We're talking more. And then from us communicating, I realized that they also want to start a YouTube channel regarding their home search, and just kind of document their journey. So then at that point, I do offer business consultations. So if they are looking at setting up a YouTube channel, getting monetized, I can help with that. I can show them exactly what is needed, either via consultation by me working with them a little bit more closely, or I can give them general advice by sending over one of my YouTube videos where I talked about monetization. So at that point, I'm working with them on the credit repair, and I'm also sharing resources on the home buying experience, and also offering consultations that will allow me to work with them very closely on building up their channel and at least getting it to the point where they can be monetized. So that's another example there. Let's say someone comments on my podcast, or they reach out to me via email, which a lot of people do on my podcast, and they heard an episode talking about how I juggle multiple businesses, and they're wanting to start their business and have multiple streams of income and possibly even open another business. And so at that point, I'm able to share resources, different information that I've gone over in other podcast episodes, YouTube videos. I'm also able to offer a consultation, figuring out exactly what business they're looking at starting. I'm able to see or ask additional questions to see if their credit is in good shape, because a lot of startup businesses use funding. And when you are looking at applying for a business loan, a lot of institutions are going to pull your personal credit, especially if you don't have any business credit built up and you're just starting. They're going to pull your personal credit too. So making sure that their personal credit is in the best shape is also going to be beneficial. And by doing all this, I'm not just offering anything that doesn't make sense, but doing this is also building the relationship between me and my customer, because now, even if they don't purchase today, they're like, okay, she listened to what I'm interested in. She offered different solutions. She gave me resources, and I can work with her not just here, but I can also work with her here. So let's say someone comments under my YouTube channel, which happens frequently. Some people go to my older videos where I'm talking about hair, especially my drop shipping video. If you go to my drop shipping video, it has like over 30,000 views and a lot of comments, and people still comment on that video to this day. I think my last comment was probably like last week or a few weeks ago. People still comment, and someone commented, hey, are you still offering drop shipping? So at that point, they were on YouTube, which is one of my streams of income. And I'm able to share a link that takes them to my hair website, Bad Chick Hair. From there, I can ask additional questions and see if they're interested in my ebook, explaining how to upscale your dropshipping business to purchasing and wholesale. I can look at different wholesale options. I can see if they're interested in samples. Also take a look and see if they're interested in learning or hearing more about my hair journey, how I got started with my hair business, how other entrepreneurs got started with their business. There are other hair industry experts that I've had on my platform as well. So sending over some podcast episodes, asking if they need assistance with structuring their business, with pricing products. And if they do, then that's when I can offer a consultation. So That's another example. And then the last example I'm going to go over is consultation. So let's say I do a consultation with someone and they're like, hey, I really appreciate the consulting services that I got from you. I'm able to say, thank you for working with me, and ask additional questions to see what they're doing next in their journey, and also giving them resources, being able to connect or share a couple videos that are pertaining to whatever we went over, being able to share podcast episodes, being able to, if they're in the hair industry, ask them who they're working with for their vendor. Of course, I probably got all that information ahead of time, but you get the point. I've asked questions. I understand exactly what they're searching for, and then I take from that and recommend based on what they're looking for. So based on what you're looking for, I recommend this. Based on what you told me you want, I recommend doing this. Based on your end goal, I recommend this service. So that's how I have some of my businesses working together. And I try to think like that no matter what I'm doing. Even if I'm working with someone and let's say they're not connected with me on social media at all. I have some clients that I've met, personally, and they don't connect with me on social media at all, but I'm still letting them know what I do offer and putting it on the table. I'm planting that seed so that if they say, hey, I do want to know more about this, I can send over a video, or I can offer a consultation, or I could do this, or I could, you know what I mean? So there's benefits in connecting what you offer. It's just about how creative you're going to be with doing it and making sure that you're giving the right offer to the right person. A lot of people go wrong by trying to just offer everything, even if it doesn't make sense. So that's like if someone comes to me and they're like, I'm looking to buy body wave bundles, and automatically without me digging deeper into their inquiry, I'm just like, hey, great. Glad you're looking at buying body wave bundles. While you're at it, let me do some consulting for your business. Do you want to start a business? And then they're like, well, I thought about it. I'm like, well, yeah, let's add on business consulting. And then also check me out on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe. I'm going to send you over my YouTube channel. And then, make sure you tune into my podcast. And then I also have a credit repair business. So if I phrase it like that, it's going to look like I'm just pushing things on someone. Like I'm just, I'm all over the place, and I'm like, hey, just take a look, buy whatever, do whatever you can to give me more money, instead of actually listening and figuring out what's going to work for them. And it's also going to be beneficial to both parties, instead of me like, well, what can I get out of you, if that makes sense. So it's really important to have active listening, be able to ask those open-ended questions, build that relationship. And even if you don't get a sale that day, plant the seeds to let them know what you can do to help them, and make sure that it is going to help based on what they told you, and it's also helping you too. So a lot of times I don't even really pitch a business to get a sale. Like, how can I say it? Like I'm not promoting very heavily, if that makes sense. Like I'm doing my YouTube videos, I post on social media, but because I'm having repeat purchases from different clients, like a lot of clients that I work with are clients that have worked with me personally, or clients that have been referred over from people that have worked closely to me. And a hair client, based on what they're looking for, can easily be converted into a credit repair client as well, and vice versa, depending on what they're looking to do. And a credit repair client can easily be converted and transitioned into watching me on YouTube, and then tuning into certain podcast episodes that align with what they're interested in. So just kind of making everything connect. But the biggest part is me figuring out exactly how I can help, and figuring out a way to be creative where I can offer them that solution based on what I offer, if that makes sense. And then sometimes I have to offer a solution that doesn't entail what I offer. There are sometimes I have to refer out, but it's still good to get an idea of what people are doing, build those relationships so that I can strengthen relationships as well by saying, hey, I don't offer this particular service that I think would be great for you based on this and that, but I do know a great resource that does, and then I can refer them out. But it's all about taking care of your customer, and that's why I don't look at sales as just selling. Look at it as being creative and finding solutions, being solutions-based, bridging that gap, building rapport, being able to be your customer's advocate, being there for them, giving them what they want, and also explaining to them maybe what they need, based on how close that relationship develops. Because the longer you speak with someone, they may be more open. A lot of times they will be more open to listening to what you have to say, because they trust you, because they've worked with you, because they know your ethics, because they know the quality of the service working with you. So those are some things to think about. But I really hope that this video helped give an insight on how I connect my businesses together. I really hope that it helped. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.